As we look into the reputation and the character of biblical mothers, we must see the work and the wonderful results that came from the mother named Eunice. Good morning. This is Pastor Ernie Lois of the Blue Point Church in Sisney, Illinois, with your thoughts for Thursday. In the Apostle Paul's writings to his son in the faith, young Timothy, he wishes to see him again, and he mentions what a joy he has been to him during his ministry. But in noting his faith, he also mentions the important women in his life. He says in 2 Timothy chapter 1 and verse 5, "When I call to remembrance the genuine or the unfeigned faith that is in thee, which dwelt first in your grandmother Lois and in your mother Eunice, I am persuaded it is in you also." Timothy has been a true companion on these danger-fraught missionary journeys. He has traveled with the Apostle Paul and others, and he has even become a minister himself now. But even Paul is quick to note the great women that are behind this great man. His mother Eunice, or Eunice, as some people say it should be pronounced, she had this same genuine faith and probably was the one that passed it on to her son. Although she was a Jewish woman who had married a Gentile man, and she had Timothy, she was a believer in the Lord Jesus Christ and one who showed that genuine faith early on there. When Paul came back on a second missionary journey to their city, he could detect the growth and maturity in young Timothy, and he asked that he be allowed to travel along with him. Certainly, this rapid Christian growth in a teenage boy has to be attributed to his godly mother, who was passing on her faith to the next generation. Deuteronomy chapter 6 teaches us to teach and train the next generation to love the Lord your God with all your heart and all your soul and all your mind. You do this during your home. You do this during your travels, wherever you might be. And we can see this has already been modeled in the home because Lois is the mother of Eunice with great faith. She's already passed this on to her daughter already. There's perhaps no better example of generational discipleship than these three mentioned here, who faithfully carried the gospel to the next generation. I suppose the question for us today is, have we taught Jesus in our home with this same zeal and this same genuine faith so that our children and our grandchildren will even benefit from our faith? You know, not only have these two generations of mothers been faithful to teach Jesus, young Timothy now has answered the call into the ministry and accepted a position where he is serving alongside Paul and ministering to churches that they've started. I personally believe some young people today have been called into the ministry, but maybe they were discouraged in the home, or somewhere along the way they dropped out of such a wonderful calling and a place where God could use him. Wouldn't it be great to read of mothers in our era today that nurtured their children in the Word, and it resulted in generations following Jesus faithfully, like it did in the case of Lois and her daughter Eunice and her grandson Timothy. And no telling how long this line lasted because they were faithful to teach Jesus to their family.